Essentially, during the Cold War, there was something created by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. It was called the Congress for Cultural Freedom. And it was about hijacking left-wing aesthetics and manipulating them and using them against the Soviet Union. They wanted to take the feelings of rebellion, the feelings of anger at the status quo and the ruling elite that communists generally used, and they wanted to hijack them to serve U.S. intelligence and to serve the interests of American capitalism. And the culmination of that, what was started with the Congress for Cultural Freedom, with Partisan Review magazine, and a lot of the different operations, they funded the work of Theodore Adorno and others. The culmination of it was the color revolutions, where George Soros, a Hungarian billionaire, was used to essentially fine-tune the art of overthrowing governments that the United States didn't like, staging uprisings against governments that the United States didn't like. They brought down the various Marxist-Leninist governments of the former Soviet Union. They brought down various governments around the world by staging, with manipulation of media, staging protests to overthrow governments. Basically, socialism has always been a movement of the working class struggling to seize control of the banks and the factories and the industries and organize the economy to serve public good. Wokeism is simply tapping into people's desire to harm other people, people's desire to rebel, people's desire to push back against authority, people's desire to punish people they perceive as having more privilege or power than them. It is a psychological manipulation that strips left-wing politics of its economics, of its understanding of capitalism and imperialism, and reduces it simply to the release of impulses. It is the sexualization and pornographication of politics, and it's being used now by the ultra-rich. The richest and most powerful people are trying to save capitalism by grinding the world into poverty. And so they've created this psychological manipulation, this hijacking of left-wing aesthetics to serve their own ends. And basically that's what wokeism is. Wokeism has nothing to do with socialism. Socialism, Marxism, communism, these are movements of working people striving to build a world where there is not instability, but there's order. They're striving to build a society where the means of production function to serve the public, where people are lifted out of poverty, where wealth can be created, where people can live in prosperity. Wokeism seeks to create chaos, death, and destruction in order to save capitalism.